Hey friends, this is Jennifer Terri and welcome to another Philippine Travel Update. So today is June 3. So what is the update with regards to traveling in the Philippines? So we'll talk about exemptions for fully vaccinated travelers. These are just discussions, guys. We'll also talk about other restrictions in the Philippines and Cebu airport update. So today, Senate President Senator Tito Soto III called for the removal of quarantine requirement for fully vaccinated individuals entering the Philippines. The senator urged the government's Pandemic Response Task, Iatf, to consider removing mandatory quarantine period of 14 days or 10 days for fully vaccinated individuals who is entering the Philippines. He said that this protocol of quarantine, 14 days quarantine period, defeats the purpose of the immunization program against COVID-19.
Earlier, I called on the IATF and DOH to possibly remove the 14-day quarantine on fully vaccinated persons entering the Philippines as long as health standards are followed. Why do we fully vaccinate people if they have to still do the 2-week quarantine when traveling to the Philippines? It doesn't make sense. It defeats the purpose of vaccinating so we can open the economy. Vaccinated investors won't be enticed to come because they have to quarantine. Even even Filipinos who are already vaccinated are having second thoughts.
The Senate President argued that imposing this 14 days quarantine could potentially hurt the Philippines economy that is already reeling from this COVID-19 crisis. Wow, that's big, guys. That's coming from the Senate President. But at the end of the day, it's always the IATF. When the IATF spokesperson was asked for their response to that, Harry Roque said that they will include that in their next meeting. On the other hand, Dr. Althea de Guzman, Chief Epidemiologist of the Department of Health, said, all arrivals should still undergo quarantine regardless of vaccination status. She said, our action has always been very strong border control, and that's why part of our border control is ensuring that all arrivals, regardless of vaccination status, should be placed under quarantine. If you can remember, last April, the Undersecretary of Health, Maria Rosario Vergeri, said it is because there is still no sufficient evidence that vaccines can block the transmission of the disease. Now that is opposing to the statement of the Octa Research approve even at least shortening the quarantine for fully vaccinated travelers. But DOH is very close to this idea, no? So what do you think? So other countries have already eased restrictions, quarantine protocols for fully vaccinated travelers, no? I think one of the reasons why they are so opposed to this because our vaccination rollout is, well, it's really, how do I put it? It's pathetic. I mean, it's very slow. We've only vaccinated less than 2% of our population. On another topic, still about restrictions, face shield. Some of you may not know about it, but face shield is mandatory in the Philippines. So aside from face mask, you need to wear face shield. Actually, let me show you. So on top of the face mask, you also have to wear face shield. Yeah, if you leave the house, you need to wear this. Even if you're outdoor, you need to wear this. 35 degrees Celsius outside, you need to wear this. So why are we talking about this? Manila Mayor Isko Moreno had earlier asked the national government to remove the face shield requirement, saying, ang face shield ay dapat ipatigil ng i-require sa general population at gagamitin na lamang sa ospital upang makabawas sa gastusin at iintindihin ng taong bayan. Tayo na lang yata sa buong mundo ang nagre-require ng face shield. Sa kalsada, dapat pag-isipan uli ito, marami na tayong natutunan, we should adjust. So this statement has received a lot of positive response from Filipinos. Majority, I would say 90%, 95% agree on this. Face shield should be removed because most of the time people don't wear it properly, especially outside. You can understand, mahirap talagang huminga with a face shield on top of face mask. Now, even Ramon Tolfo said, "Correct, Mayor, we are the only country in the world that requires face shield for its general public." So if you look at Facebook, no, wherever people are saying yes, yes, yes. One of our kababayans, PN, said, "Yes, sobrang pahirap nito sa mga kagaya ko na nakasalamin din. Imagine kapag mag-moist ang salamin at nag-moist ang face shield ng sabay, feeling ko nasa loob ako ng aquarium. Oh no." Another person said, "Opo, tama ka, Mayor, dagdag gastos, dagdag basura pa. Hindi po nakakatulong perwisyo sa mukha, lalo na pag pinagpapawisan, hirap huminga, doble nakatakip sa mukha." So aside from, it's really hard to breathe with that, it's ecological waste. So what's the IATF response on that? IATF pushed back on Manila Mayor for his suggestion to remove this face shield requirement. In a press briefing today, Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque said,
Kakabasa ko lang po ng sinulat ni Dr. Salvania, no? Isang talagang rinrespeto po na epidemiologist, no? At ang sabi niya, talaga nakakatulong pa rin po ang pagsusuot ng face shield, no? Statistically, kapag ikaw po ay nag-face mask, face shield at nag-distancing, halos equivalent po ang protection yan sa bakuna, no?
But I truly wondered, if it is so effective, why are we the only country in the world that's requiring it? Why are other countries not using it, no? It's not like we are the only country that's trying to manage COVID-19. If it is so effective, why is the rest of the world not doing the same thing? Anyway, let's move forward with Cebu. So Cebu, no, diverted all the international flights from May 29 until June 5. A lot of our kababayans are affected to the thousands. So 300 times 7, how much is that? 7, 14, 21. So around 2,100 people maximum are affected. That's only talking about inbound. But outbound travelers from Cebu are also affected. For example, Qatar Airways canceled their flights na din. Most flights Cebu to Doha. So with Cebu, if you watched, I hope you watched that video I uploaded, I shared in this in YouTube, Miss Gwen's press briefing explaining what happened, how did her meeting with the president went. So in that meeting with the president, Governor Gwen discussed the protocols and the COVID situation in Cebu. And she presented to the president the rationale, the reason bakit iba ang protocol sa Cebu. So Ms. Gwen explained that Cebu has a different protocol because it seeks to minimize financial and emotional burden for travelers who are already suffering because of expensive tickets, who cancel na yung mga flights nila, di ba? And for the financial burden, sumagot pa si Duque, sabi niya, don't worry because OFWs, meron tayong OWA and they pay for everything. And Miss Gwen said, how about ROFs, non-OFWs? And you know what this Duque said according to Miss Gwen? Duque said, they're only a small percentage. Wow. We are small percentage insignificant? Ganun ba? And we pay, non-OFWs pay standard rates sa hotel. OWA pays subsidized. Subsidized, guys, discounted rate. Tayo standard. And we pay for our swab test pa 4,000, but ang mahal ng swab test. So in that meeting, I think Miss Gwen was kind of frustrated, no? That's why she took like 1 hour just explaining the cases in Cebu. And Duque really insisted on that 10 days quarantine because of variants daw. But Miss Gwen explained that the cases in Cebu are dropping even despite of that swab test upon arrival policy. So she questioned, Duque, if you see something working, wouldn't it be worthy to study it? At the end, the President Duterte, asked Secretary Duque, Department of Health, to critique and study, to look into the possibility of applying Cebu's way, particularly the swab test upon arrival policy for OFWs and ROFs, and perhaps apply to other regions. So the president gave Duque until today, June 3, to decide to study. But we haven't heard. No? We haven't heard anything. I haven't read anything. If you guys read anything, share, but I haven't. There was a public briefing by Miss Gwen today, but it was something else about Cebu program, about their health. Chuchu. So it wasn't about the Cebu airport or OFWs and ROFs matter. So, but I really, according to Miss Gwen in that meeting, she said, even though daw Duque said na, oh, we'll study it, but it seems like, you know that person when you say, oh, punta ka sa birthday ko, oh, pag-iisipan ko, but actually that person already decided na hindi siya pupunta. And parang yun si Duque. Sinabi niyang, Mr. President, we will study, pero we'll study. He knows. He's not gonna allow it. He's not gonna approve it. He's just gonna say, no, Mr. President, we cannot follow that. Perhaps we'll still wait, but for now, wala pa talagang update, guys. So, we're supposed to hear from today, but wala pa. So, the temporary diversion of international flights bound to Cebu to NAIA will expire on after June 5. So, June 6, Cebu international flights should be back inbound. So, the big question, what protocol will be followed? Will it be the swab test upon arrival or the 10 days quarantine? So that's what's happening, guys. Senate President wants to push exemption of 14 days quarantine for fully vaccinated travelers, FACESHIELD, and then this Cebu airport update. There's no decision yet. There's no change yet. So for now, guys, it's still 10 days quarantine in the hotel regardless of your vaccination status. That's our update today, guys. For those who are in quarantine now, how's your experience so far? How's quarantine? And for those who will be flying soon, don't forget your requirements. Hey, register for your COVID test. For OFWs po, balik Pinas yan. Kung mga nana-OFWs, Terminal 1 and Terminal 3, PadLab. For Terminal 2, INAIA, PAL-Detoxicare. For Clark, register, nano-OFWs, register with PadLab or Red Cross. And for OFWs, ECIF upon arrival, but mas mabuti mag-register sa Red Cross kung just in case hanapan ng airline. For Cebu arrivals, register with MCIA. So that's our update for today, guys. The protocol is still the same. Nothing has changed with the travel restrictions. So I'll see you again with another travel update. Stay safe and God bless you all. Bye!